Hey, my name is Neil from Linx Digital, and in today's video, I'm going to be answering one of the most common questions that we get on our Facebook group, which is what are the acceptable ranges for the most common YouTube ad metrics, right? Everybody seems to be asking a ton of questions regarding this, and I'll be answering them. Now, before I get into this video, I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel because we are putting out a ton of content. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the video. So I'll start off by discussing the most common YouTube ad metrics, and then I'll get into some of the most common funnel metrics that are used with YouTube ads. Now, with everything I say, don't take it to heart. There is some leeway with each range, but these are the most common acceptable things that we adhere to and aim for at our agency. So let's talk about the first metric, and I think it is the most important metric when it comes to YouTube ads, especially the ads itself, and this is what we base most of our ad decisions on. Now, again, like I said, these are leeways when I give ranges. So with the first metric being click-through rate, CTR, what are the acceptable ranges? Well, in our agency, we aim for anything above 1.5%. Now, you can get away with 1% with click-through rate, but we've found that good ads generally perform 1.5% or higher. When you get to 2 to 4%, those are when ads are really doing well. And click-through rate is one of those indicators that tells you if an ad is good or not. Like I mentioned, these are leeways. So if you are making a ton of money with an ad with a click-through rate of 0.05, don't turn it off just because I said so, as long as you're making money. But just know that what we think is a good ad is an ad with a click-through rate of 1.5 or higher. And to be fair, click-through rate is honestly one of the only metrics we look at when it comes to the ad itself, because on YouTube ads, there's only one conversion goal, right? The one purpose of a YouTube ad is to get somebody to click on the ad itself. And that's it. And that's why that's probably the most important metric that we actually look at. But here are a couple other metrics that we do consider when we're looking at the performance of an individual ad. So let's start with view rate. We want to make sure it's above 15%. Again, we've seen some ads do, 30, 40%, which is awesome. And even some ads perform as low as 10% view rate. However, generally you want to aim for 15% or more. And the same thing goes for interaction rate. We want to aim for anything over 30%. Generally, what we see is a good number is about 45 to 50%. Now, the next metric you actually want to make sure is as close to 0% as possible, and that is your invalid click rate. This is because you don't want bad clicks on your ads, and you don't want to be paying for those clicks. So you want to make sure that number is as close to 0 as possible. Now, the next metric that I want to focus on is one that will only apply if you've been running ads for a number of time, and this is frequency. Now, this may not apply to brand new ads, but it definitely comes into play when you've been running ads for a number of spend, right? You want to make sure you are keeping a close eye on your frequency, especially with your remarketing campaigns. That's where things tend to get out of control. We actually recommend capping your frequency. This will ensure that not too many people are seeing the same ad over and over, and you're not bothering your potential customers. So what do we recommend? Well, we recommend a cap of 2 views a week and 5 to 6 impressions a week. Now, this ensures that you will still get conversions, but you're not overbearing with your ads. And with that, that kind of wraps up the ad-specific metrics that we look at, and those are the acceptable ranges for that. Next, what I want to talk about are the common funnel metrics, right? These are things that most businesses kind of use in combination with YouTube ads, and here are the acceptable ranges for that. If you are using your YouTube ads for e-commerce or promoting an e-commerce product, one of the key metrics that we actually spend a lot of time on is the landing page conversion rate, and this applies specifically to e-commerce product pages. So this is stuff like Shopify, WooCommerce, all of that kind of stuff. So what have we seen that is acceptable with YouTube ads? Well, we're looking at a conversion rate of anywhere between 2 to 4%, 2 being on the lower end, 4 being on the great end. Obviously, you can boost those numbers with a number of things, but that is the bare minimum what we think is a good e-commerce funnel when it comes to YouTube ads. What if you're running an email collection page? Now, these are super common for webinar pages, sales call funnels, lead generation funnels, right? Landing pages where you're collecting an email. Well, for this kind of funnel with YouTube ads, what we're kind of aiming for is anything above 15%. 50% is kind of like the lower end. We've seen some awesome funnels convert at 25 to 30%, and that's kind of what we aim at. We've also seen some amazing funnels even tap up to the 50% range. So I know this is a big window, but I think you should be aiming for anywhere from 25 to 35% if you are collecting emails on your lander. Now, with webinar funnels, this is a little bit of a tricky one because you can totally make a ton of money with different conversion rates, but here's what we've seen with our clients and our students. The most successful webinar funnels usually convert at 1 to 2%. This is their entire funnel. We're talking, they have a landing page, webinar, to a sales page. Now, this kind of funnel converts at, like I said, 1 to 2%. We've seen amazing webinar funnels that have gone up to 4 or 5%, but that's generally the range that they live in. With VSLs, now these are very hot at the moment. Everybody seems to be running a VSL funnel, whether it's to a call booked or a sales page. What is an acceptable conversion rate when it comes to these VSL funnels? Again, we've seen anything from 2% to 5% work, but generally the ones that are most successful lay between the 5 to 10%. That means for every 100 people that see your VSL, they watch it through, about 5 to 10 should be booking a call or buying your product or service. Now that you guys have a good idea on what are some acceptable ranges for your YouTube ads metrics, let me know. Are you guys falling within those windows? Or if not, which ones are you struggling with most? Put it down in the comments and maybe we'll make a video on how to boost some of these conversion rates for you guys. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you guys like this video. It really helps us out a ton. With that, I will see you guys in the next video.